We're here today for an extremely momentous occasion. Of course, I'm talking about the brand new album release from boWsER. I'm here with Otto Mitter from boWsER, and we're going to talk about this fantastic album that's just been released, Whispers for the Wicker Man.
It's been a labour of love. And let's just start off this session by saying we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Haven't we?
Do we want to say how long?
Let's say it.
22 years.
22 years. We just worked that out. 22 years. We've been friends for. Literally, just before this session. It's so good to have you here doing this.
Aww.
Thank you very much.
No, it's really been an amazing journey, actually. You know, we've known each other for a really long time, and we've weaved in and out of each other's lives in a number of different ways. And I've always been part of this musical journey of this incredible man, and the network of Gold Coast musicians that we both know, and it's been a huge and amazing part of my life.
And I think we'll be talking about that a little bit along this little journey that we're going to share with you now.
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about?
So people probably aren't aware of this, but boWsER actually has an incredibly long and illustrious history, right? boWsER's been around for a really long time, a lot longer than people realise. Can you tell us a little about the origins of the band?
Yeah, it certainly has been on a journey, that's for sure. And it's gone over 10 years now. And, you know, we started on the Gold Coast. And the Gold Coast is it had a funny little scene. I mean, the Gold Coast is known to a lot of people around the world as a bit of a tourist transient town, you know, a bit of a plastic place at times. But it's a really good place to live. You know, it's a great lifestyle, beach and everything. And the music scene here was quite cool. It's underground. There was, like a rock scene, and then you had your DJ scene and that sort of thing. And with people that are in boWsER, I mean, we kind of played in different bands. And this is going back 10 years or more, you know, playing in lots of different clubs, underground clubs that were on the Gold Coast, schoolies, and, you know, whatever the Gold Coast has to offer. But, we were just part of a great little scene together and, you know, basically connected that way.
Yeah, I mean, I came up from Sydney originally, a really long time ago, probably 20 years ago, and Sydney was rocking, you know, it had its own thing going on, but I came up here and I was blown away by the musicianship and the scene, just the vibes, you know, it's always hot up here, so there was just this incredible vibe, you know, everyone's playing their music and feeling good, and it just had this energy about it that really, to me, I mean, I've lived and worked in the London music scene, I've lived and worked in Sydney, and this for me has always held the most special place in my heart by far.
Yeah, well, like me too, and I met some incredible friends, you know, on the Gold Coast. This place where people don't really think music kind of exists. They can't produce music, especially music like boWsER, which is quite heavy rock, in your face, but I mean, it's got a lot of elements to it, which we'll go into. But, you know, there was a great little thriving scene here. So that's how boWsER really sort of started. And, then we started on this cool little journey that we're going to go into. Yeah,
so, I mean, maybe it's probably worth talking about the very first song that we're going to introduce you guys to tonight. We're actually going to play 6 songs from the album, we're going to play the 2 singles that have already been released and some of the tracks that you know may not have already heard. The first song we're going to play is a song called Renegade, and that song it kind of has more of a classic boWsER sound, I guess, you know, because boWsER has been going for so long. It really has evolved the sound, you know, and I remember in the beginning there was a lot of off rhythms and timing and kind of like, you know, augmented chords and that sort of thing. And then over time, you know, it's evolved and some of the songs have become a bit more straight up rock. But there's been a lot of phases. And this particular song, Renegade, is, I guess, more of a sort of a classic boWsER sound. So what can you tell us about that song?
Yeah, well, when we sort of came together with this, Brad Winton is one of the main writers in boWsER, such a talented guy. And with this track, you know, classic Brad riff, you know, which is a poppy kind of Mexican rhythmic feel, I think, in the verse with these cryptic lyrics. And that's kind of the thing with boWsER. It really has this thing with the lyrics where it could mean several different things, but it kind of really relates to people, when they listen to it. And then it just goes into the straight up balls out chorus, which is just low tones, heavy rock, which boWsER is known for. But yeah, it's got, the yin and yang, I guess, in the song.
Yeah, I reckon it's a good, straight up, awesome freaking rock tune, and I reckon we should check it out right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do that. So I hope everyone enjoyed that song. What a cracker of a tune. That's plenty more of that epicness coming up. And I just want to say, like, listening to that song, far out, man. Brad, who you were talking about earlier, frontman for the band, singer, guitarist, lead songwriter.
Yeah.
Just an incredible songwriter. I mean, that guy can literally do anything that he sets his mind to. He can write in any style. His lyrics are really kind of cryptic and weird, but extremely cool. What's it been like working with Brad over so many years and in a few projects?
Yeah, well, that's right. We played in a few different bands together. It started out, he joined my band originally because one of our members left. And then we formed another band from there, which was like a funk band. And then, we sort of evolved into boWsER as well. And one thing I've loved about working with Brad over the years is he's been really open to what the other players want to bring to the table when we're making these songs together. So Brad would just come out with this super cool demo. He'd lay down the riffs, the vocals, the ideas, the verse and chorus is there. And we've got the bones of the song, I guess, that we go into. But then, we work. Well, it's a three-piece at the moment. It's been a lot of different people in the lineup over the years. But most of the time, it's guys in the room with their instruments just doing their thing. And he's been so good to work with because he's really open to what the musicians are bringing to the table. He really gets off on that and makes it work. And I think that's what boWsER really is about, is these musicians coming together with the seed of whatever that song is, but then, they're adding their flavor and, of course, some songwriting elements, depending on what the tracks are. Brad, I really love his vocal style. That's one thing that a lot of people have commented on when they listen to boWsER and they listen to the lyrics and they just think, like, these lyrics are cool. These lyrics are original. They're not just the straight up, normal sounding kind of lyrics that you might hear in maybe a standard pop song. They just have this edginess to them. They have this underlying cryptic message. And you're kind of like, I can relate to that. That could mean this, and it could mean something else as well, which kind of keeps you guessing.
Yeah, the thing about Brad, I think there's something that I came up with a while back that when you listen to one of his songs and listen to the lyrics, it often raises more questions than it gives you answers. Mm-hmm. But that's not a bad thing, It makes you think, it's thought-provoking, It's very, very cool. I remember back in the day, Brad with his 8-track, remember?
Yeah.
And he was,
priceless, of course. He'd come around to my house with this 8-track. I think he even had a 4-track, if people remember those. The thing with the tape in it, right?
Yeah, wow.
And him and I would just sit downstairs at my house and we would just record these demos of just anything. We'd just literally just throw riffs at each other and just record like most musos do. Just putting literally hundreds of ideas down. And just, sifting through it. And we just get off, basically, on creating this music so much. But another thing I love about Brad is his guitar style. It's just straight up. Like, the tones he can get with these tunes are just huge. It's got this edge to it that I love. Man, the guy is a real talent, and it's been a real pleasure playing with him over the years in this band.
Yeah, he's actually the reason I know you, actually.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
If you're watching this.
We love you, Brad.
Brad couldn't be here today, unfortunately, and Nathan as well, and some of the other guys over the years, but they'll be watching, I'm sure.
We're representing boWsER tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the next song we're going to play is called Count Static, yeah?
Yep.
Count Static was recorded a really long time ago at Maxitone Studios.
I believe it was. I think it was. And that's the thing with this album. We have got some songs on this album that have been recorded like going back 10 years ago. It's like a time capsule or something for us. And we've recorded at lots of different studios over the years. We've done a lot of great studios in Australia, like Studio 301, that a lot of people would know about in the music industry here. But we recorded this one, I think, at Maxitone Studios, which I think is in King's Cross or Darlinghurst in Sydney. And we had a real epic time when we were down there recording a batch of songs there. We were living in King's Cross, which is, always fun. And, there's a few stories to tell. Google it. And... so we were in this real edgy part of town, and I think that really came across in the music at the time. There's a lot of grit, there's a lot of grime in there, there's a bit of mystery, and there's darkness to it as well, which is something that you'll feel throughout a lot of the boWsER album. But this tone in particular, or this song in particular that we've come up with, is just one of my favourites personally. It's a big journey track. Big hard-hitting guitars, and it does evolve and gets a bit punky maybe at one stage, but epic to say the least. Yeah,
it's definitely one of the harder tracks, but a really, really freaking cool track. And that's the thing about boWsER. There's a lot of different flavours, and that one is particularly gritty, and that's one of the things I love about boWsER. And if you are digging boWsER, guys, by the way, definitely go and stream on Spotify. You can look for boWsER. You can follow us on YouTube. There's also Facebook, of course, and Instagram. We would love to welcome you there to the tribe, the community. Come and get on board with this boWsER thing. The more followers we have and the more love we get, the more likelihood that there'll be more boWsER tunage, yeah?
We could do another album if you really wanted us to. So go ahead and like it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Show us some love, people.
And I'll see if I can get the boys in the studio.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It could definitely happen. All right, guys, we're going to flip over to Count Static. We're going to watch the video for that one, and I hope you guys really dig it.
You've lost your self-control, and one ain't do no more. Your back's against the wall. You've lost your self-control, and one ain't do no more. Your back's against the wall. You're on the hill
What a fat tune.
It's pretty huge, that one,
It's
isn't it?
huge.
It's an epic journey.
mega. It's mega. It's yeah, super fat. And one of the things that stands out to me when I listen to that tune is just how freaking amazing Queasy Beats, otherwise known as Nathan Williams,
Yes.
is on the drums. That guy is just nuts.
Yeah.
I bet, you know, working with him would be pretty wild, because I guess like bass and drums, you're the rhythm section.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even stay in that world with that man? Because he's pretty complex as a drummer, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? It's a pleasure to actually play with this guy. I mean, we've been doing it for so long now. And, you know, Nathan and I played in another band together before boWsER, and him and I have actually stuck together in a lot of different units. We were playing in covers bands like Cabaret Band. We were in a funk band. We were in the Julian Day together, and then, you know, then into boWsER together. And it's just been an absolute pleasure. And the thing I love about Queasy Beats drums, affectionately known as Nathan to some, but he just keeps things interesting. You know, when you're doing a standard riff or something, you know, it's a big 4/4 rock riff that you're bringing to the table. He'll lay down a great beat, but he'll just have to throw something interesting in. Like, he'll do this little sort of odd time cymbal change, or I swear the guy's got like 8 arms or something. Maybe he's just a bit sneaky and they're invisible. Maybe he's cheating. I don't know, but it's an absolute pleasure to play with him because he just keeps it interesting every time. And, you know, he loves playing this music, and yeah, it just definitely brings a great sound to what boWsER is. I think without Nathan drumming and doing what he does, it would just be a completely different sound to the band.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the fact that you guys have just been playing together for so long, it's very rare that you get to hear artists play together that have that kind of connection. It's almost like a psychic connection, you know, like you know what that guy's going to play, you kind of feel it out before it even happens, and you can hear that in the music. It's just this comfortability that really is quite a rare but incredibly beautiful thing to witness and be part of.
I think a lot of bands that have been playing a long time together do experience this next level connection that you have with the other members in the band. And literally, there's times where I'm just not even looking at Nathan, and I'll turn around and just hit the bass in a certain spot, and he'll just hit the cymbal at the right time. It's just like, did you mean to do that? I guess you did. But we just spontaneously have those moments. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. You know, we've played a lot together over the years, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
The man's a machine.
He is indeed.
Better than a drum machine.
Oh, for
Queasy
sure.
Beats.
Oh, for sure.
The next track that we have to play for you is, oh my god, I don't want to say it's my favourite because I love them all, but god damn, I love this song, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
a gem.
it sticks in my head, and it never goes away, and that's okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
This one's called Supersonic. It was released, it's the most recent single, it was released on the 3rd of December 2020, the year we do not speak of.
A funny year.
Yeah, just a little bit interesting. And there's some actual references in the film clip of this song
There is
to the interesting nature of 2020. So if you have a look for some COVID references, you'll find them.
Yes.
And on that note, actually, the video itself is a fantastic concept. Otto came up with the entire concept himself. He had a vision.
Yes.
And he wanted to bring it to life. And we found some fantastic local producers called Smokehouse, and they brought this concept to life really well. So shout out to those guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. They it was a pleasure working with them, and they did take that idea and they added some cool elements to it, and they are quite good with animation. So we really experimented with animation in this clip, you know, which is a little different from what we've done before. But I really wanted this clip to have a lot of bright colours. I wanted that psychedelic kind of feel in the chorus, especially because it's such a big uplifting chorus, and I do call it our Foo Fighters moment. I'm sorry, Dave, if you're watching and you don't approve, but huge fan. But it is. It's our Foo Fighters moment. You know, it's just a big epic chorus, and the verse, well, it's you know, got this edgy groove, which is quite catchy. It's kind of maybe our more commercial track on the album. I don't know,
I
but
would
it still
say
has
so.
that boWsER twist.
I would say it definitely has the most commercial appeal. The chorus is very catchy, and yeah, the verses just have this really cool kind of psychedelic vibe. I just really love that song. I just think it's a fantastic song. It's like an instant classic to me. And yeah, I'm really glad this song actually has done really well. We've put it out together.
Yes.
We've worked together to put this song out to the world, and it's had some great feedback. We've secured some really great placements internationally in Europe, in the US. It's just been added to a New Zealand Juice TV, a New Zealand online video platform. And yeah, so it's been going really well. I think we're up to something crazy on Facebook, about 75,000
views now over the last month or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. It's great. It's been received really well. And I think, that's a combination of, the tune that it is, it's a great clip, and obviously Mojo Bullet action as well, let's face it. And a little
Hire Mojo Bullet if you would like to promote your song.
With a little help from my friends, we can get this out there. And that's what's happened. But yeah, the song, look, we're super proud of it. It's supersonic.
Supersonic. Oh yeah, and shout out to Dylan from Music Minds Collective as well.
Course.
While we're here, he's been huge on the digital marketing side,
He's
giving us
helped
lots
a
of
lot.
advice, and he's an absolute legend. So anyway, without further ado, let's do this, Supersonic people. And if you're enjoying boWsER, don't forget to follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Get on it, people. Stream on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Give us some love. We love you.
Because it really wants flavor. Deep fat to honey, fly away for
hope you enjoyed that as much as we all love that tune. It's just...
Yeah, well, it's our Foo Fighters moment. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments.
It's probably a boWsER moment too, right?
It's got to be a boWsER
Yeah,
moment. But
I
yeah,
think
it's
so.
a freaking earworm, man. Like, that song was so good. Anyway, I could talk about it all night. We should move on. And what I want to move on to is something really freaking cool that most people probably don't know, is that this guy right here has a bit of a double life going on. So he's a rock legend in the Gold Coast sense, at least. But he also, he moonlights as a rock lord, but by day, he's a lash lord. What does that mean?
Now out, isn't it? Yeah, I know. What is a lash lord? Exactly. Well, I could tell you some stories, but we might be here till sun up. But yes, I do live a bit of a double life, and I do love my other life as well, as the lash lord. So I do have a company where I produce cosmetic products, beauty products, and I'm a cosmetic chemist as well, and I've studied makeup artistry and things like this years ago, so that was my creative side, the other side. And yeah, look, we have a lot of fun in the beauty industry, doing a lot of things there too. We get to travel the world when COVID didn't happen. But, you know, doing a lot of things in the lash and brow industry and that sort of stuff, which is cool. It keeps me busy, and yeah, you know, it's great. You know, it's really been helpful in a lot of ways. You know, even in a music sense, it sort of recharges me to do some music as well and get stuck into these projects and finish albums and things like that.
Yeah, and what I've found actually, just one thing about working with you, Otto, it's been an incredible pleasure because you have an understanding of marketing in general. So obviously, you know, music marketing is my thing, and it's not always easy to work with musicians, you know, who may not understand the concepts of marketing, or...
It's so important to really be able to get your message out there, and I think that's how we clicked on this project. So it was a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
We had to do it.
Yeah, and it's been a joy. Okay, so the next track we have for you is actually the title track of the album. It's called Wicker. It's kind of like just straight up rock, yeah? It's like in your face.
Yeah, well, I think it's a punchy, chunky riff with the tight gap thing, you know, so this is our mosh song. You know, I can imagine it's like this when you're listening to the verse, it's just chugging and it's, you know, it's very tight. But then it drops into this. I'm gonna talk about some influences here, and I might say our Queens of the Stone Age moment. Let's talk about every great rock band right now. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got the vocal harmonies, it's got the low, cool bass, and just great soaring guitars and all that sort of thing. And it's probably one of my favourites. I really enjoy it. It's definitely a car tune. And I think this whole album, to be honest, is just a car album. You know, put it on, with the windows down, go for a drive.
Rock out.
Make sure you turn it up loud. It kind of is that formula, you know.
And I know this album's like been an incredible journey, hey, to get it out. I mean, like we talked about the origins of boWsER and everything, but you know, just getting this record to this stage, I mean, it's been over many, many years because you've demoed the tracks, you've recorded some of them at one studio, and then it got shelved for a while, and you've come back and done it again. It's sort of been this like really huge thing. I mean, tonight, this moment right now is like literally years in the making.
It really, really is. Like over a decade. You know, some of the tracks we recorded quite recently, you know, over the last year or so. But, you know, some of the other songs over a decade. You know, when the seed of the song was recorded in the studio, and then it's gone through various places for mixing, you know, so it's taken its journey. And you'll hear, when you listen to the album, the different kinds of tones that I think we went through. To be honest, like one of the songs we were recording in uni somewhere. Actually, I think it was this song. It might have even been this song.
No way.
We were recording it at a uni, and Griffith Uni maybe on the Gold Coast, and I literally was using headphones and I could hardly hear anything. I think, you know, we had a bit of a challenge in the studio that night, and it was a muffle, and I'm literally like, I'm just gonna play this bass and this song as I know it. I can't really hear what I'm doing right now, but I'm pretty sure that's how the song goes. And yeah, we obviously, you know, took it to the studio and did our thing, and it's turned out to be a beast of a track. It actually also goes into this other little instrumental section, which is a little bit Alice in Chains-esque. I remember saying to Brad, oh, I really want some vocal on this section. We should do a vocal on that instrumental part. And maybe you could go like Alice in Chains style, you know, do those soaring harmonies and stuff. And the stuff he came back with is just gold, in my humble opinion.
Oh, for sure. And look, I mean, even though it has been a sort of a patchwork in that sense, I definitely feel like the album has cohesion because boWsER is boWsER. And there's always been that quintessential sort of boWsER sound.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get into it, hey?
Let's get into this one.
Wicker Man.
Show us how you head nod.
I hope you enjoy this.
Get some medicine. We all get some medicine. Calm down. Feed some of that to Sugar Man. He's so big he falls into the ground. Eyes so wide he can see through time. It's a long, long ride to the other side. Now that you've gone away, all the way, all the way. Now that you've gone away, all the way, all the way. We're gonna see the Wicker Man. We're messed up and we're gonna get down. Mix some of that with cinnamon. He's so big, never wanna touch ground. Eyes so wide, he can see through time. It's a long, long ride to the other side. It's a long, long ride to the other side. Now that you've gone away, all the way, all the way. Now that you've gone away, all the way, all the way.
Whoa, well, that was a meaty, chunky.
How is your neck after that?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. I
Ish.
think I put mine back in. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, and look, the production on this album is another thing that I think we should really mention, because far out, the man who is responsible for these meaty tones and these pristine sounds is actually a very, very well-known, I'm going to say famous, definitely infamous producer, acclaimed UK/Australian producer Steve James, who's worked with Axe.
Oh, lots of Axe.
In the league of Skunk Hour,
Screaming Jets,
the Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols,
dude.
There you go.
Monty Python. Word on the street.
There is a rumour.
The Beatles
I think maybe he was making coffees or something in the studio. And look, the guy's got a British accent, so I believe it.
He's worked with the Beatles. That's pretty wild.
He could have. I mean, sorry, Steve, if that's wrong.
If that's not true,
it's just word on the street. That's what people are saying about you.
That's how infamous you are. You know, you've got this reputation. But
I mean, other bands, she had Super Jesus. Like, who else? I don't know. There's just it's big.
He's got this a very enviable CV.
He does.
And when you listen,
and he chose to work with us, little old boWsER. We are so blessed.
I don't know about little old boWsER.
Thank you, darling.
Big, chunky, awesome boWsER. Match made in heaven.
It's skinny fat.
Skinny fat boWsER.
Skinny fat boWsER.
But yeah, Steve James is the man. You're the man, Steve.
Yeah, he's done an impeccable job of the production on this album, and he's worked on all of the songs for years with us as well at various studios. I think he did some mixing in his house. On some of them, he's got studios set up there. Then we went to Red Engine Studios recently. He was with us at 301. He was with us at Maxitone. The guy has stuck with us the whole time over the years because he loves the music. And we've heard some cool stories. Steve is sharing some of the tunes when other bands come in to record with him, and the feedback's been good. People have been liking it. So yeah, it's just been great to get this album done so that we can actually share it out with the world, share all that work that Steve's put into it over the years, all that work that we've put into it over the years. It's not going to be a waste. It's now out in the universe. It's going to be on Spotify. Make sure you stream it.
Yeah, stream that.
Yeah, look,
a shout out to Steve.
A massive shout out to Steve James. Thank you very much. He's just done such a great job, and we love it. It's
You're
huge.
a lord, Steve.
He is.
You're a lord.
Rock lord.
So, what have we got up next? We've got a pretty cool track, and it's actually called Chemicals. And obviously, it's a reference to your career as a cosmetic chemist, yes?
It could be. I mean, Brad wrote the lyrics. But Brad has many meanings to his lyrics, as we said before. And when you listen to the song, you'll know what I mean. But when I listen to the song, look, the reason I've chosen to play this song tonight or today or whenever you're listening to it is because it's got a great bass line in it. It's a lot of fun to play. It's quite melodic. Brad actually helped me out with this bass line. He was like, go down there and move up to the top register, and etc. So it's a lot of fun to play. It's got a lot of groove, but it has this huge chorus. It's just big. And I remember we played a gig at the Great Northern in Byron many years ago with a great band called Transport. These guys are watching. Epic night. It was so good. And we ended up going out to some nightclub in Byron after we did our gigs at the Great Northern, and we were all on the dance floor, and literally the guys from Transport were all, there was some big house track on, and they were just fist pumping in the air going, and I'm coming down the corner with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah, which is how the lyric goes, which you're about to hear.
Awesome.
But it was just this big chant. So from that moment, yeah, we got a lot of good feedback about the song. And I mean, I don't know, I really can't wait to do an official film clip for this one. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tune and a half. Definitely. That's a cool story. I think I have a photo of us backstage at the Great Northern. You know, there's all those like that writing on the walls, and
yeah,
I'm sure there's a photo of you and me in that room with that wall behind us.
Oh, no way. Actually, we do too.
We do?
Yeah, like Byron Bay, epic town. A lot of people around the world have heard of that place. And yeah, it's a great place to play gigs, and we did a lot of shows there over the years.
Oh, it's such a fun place. But yeah, look, just a reminder, guys, don't forget that if you're digging the music, please show boWsER some love and go to boWsER, the band, And
Check
stream
out
on
the-
Spotify.
Yeah, stream on Spotify. You know, that's why we're doing this album, just to get it out to the universe.
Yeah,
So,
stream on Spotify. Follow on YouTube.
mhm.
Follow on Instagram. Follow on Facebook. You know what to do.
Do the deed.
Show some love for the band.
Smack that like button.
Yeah, hit
But,
that like button.
Should we do it? Should we do?
Yeah, let's do
Chemicals?
this. That's what chemicals.
All right,
Enjoy.
let's do it.
Every single minute gone today. Every single minute feels like you're never in it. Now that you have flown all the way, you could have done it better. Wings that have dropped their feathers. Fake it and you get on the way. Save it and never spend it. Bend it but never spread it. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. Too much buzz within, fascinate. Life on the straight and steady. Walk on the path of many. All your stupid thoughts blown away. Edge of the empty wonder. Why would you pull me under? Every single minute gone today. Every single minute feels like you're never in it. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. I'm coming down the road, yeah, I'm coming down the road, yeah, I'm coming down the road with a fist full of chemicals, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Well, how about that, eh? Chemicals.
It's huge. It's
mega.
huge and it's a lot of fun. And again, another great car song that you can put on with the kids in the back. They'll love it.
Yeah, with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
no, it's a lot of
Kids
fun.
love it.
It was a lot of fun recording.
Yeah. Actually, if you are really digging the tunes big time, you could also support boWsER by going to Bandcamp and buying the album. Yeah.
Good point. You know, if we get enough people buying some tunes, we might be able to get another.
We can afford to hire Steve James again.
I mean, we could
And
do that. That could be a possibility.
Yeah, that would be epic.
That would be
Super cool.
very good.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed Chemicals, guys. And another thing I want to talk about, something that's a really cool sort of aspect of the boWsER journey for me has been that there's been a few people come and go through the band. In fact, Otto wasn't an original member. He came later. And one of the very first boWsER gigs ever, I don't know how many gigs they'd done before, but it was actually with my ex-husband, who is a really good friend of mine, Dan. Shout out to Dan. Daniel,
The man.
who is also known as D7.
Yeah, D7.
Sevsy.
Oh,
Or Nine Lives the Cat.
what a guy, yeah.
He's got a few
Man of-
monikers.
yeah, he does, doesn't he?
But he's
Super
a freaking
talented.
epic dude, and he used to do some scratching in boWsER,
Yeah.
and he probably
He
played
did
some
lyrics
instruments
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did some
He was doing some main
rhymes,
vocals.
some
Yeah,
main
yeah,
vocals.
yeah. He was actually the lead singer
Yeah.
in boWsER
Yeah,
originally.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And boWsER played one of their very first gigs the night of our wedding back in 2000. God, that's a long time ago. But so Dan was a member of boWsER,
Yeah,
obviously.
Dan was a member. He just brought such a cool flavour to the act at the time. The way that the band was really hard edge. We had a lot of odd time riffs going on. I actually didn't play in the band. I did. I joined the band when Dan was still in there, but I wasn't playing when he first started. But like the scratching that he was doing, I think scratching and turntablism, sampling, that stuff was in a lot at that time. And he's a mean dude on the turntables, so it was pretty cool.
And then
brought some epic stuff to it.
Yeah, Dan. Shout outs to Dan. And then another, suspect
Yeah, another
who showed up on the lineup was, how could we forget Marchois?
Marchois.
Shout outs
The
to
infamous
Marchois.
Yes. He's a dear old friend of mine too. I played in another band with
Guitarist
him.
for Julian Day.
Guitarist for Julian Day as well. And we went through a massive journey together playing music, and he was the original bass player. So yeah, he played bass for a while.
So you kind of
and
he
handed over the gauntlet.
the baton.
Yeah, the baton, passed the baton on, and
Nice.
I gladly accepted.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
rest is history there.
And who else? I
What
mean,
else do we have?
there's been some other
Grant
Grant
Wallace,
man,
of course.
Grant man.
And Grant Man just brought that extra flavour to the group. When he joined, kind of took it to this next level where boWsER really took off, and we started doing some big gigs. We played Big Day Out Festival, and we were touring a lot more and doing all that cool stuff that you're supposed to do when you're in a band, right? We recorded our first EP, Modus Operandi, and Grant did a lot of work helping manage the band as well. At the time, he was helping me do a lot of organising of the tours, and he started Facebook, and he helped with MySpace. Remember that?
I remember that.
So yeah, he really helped a lot, and he played guitar.
Well,
he helped write some of the songs.
Because Grant, I mean, he had a history. I mean, he's an ARIA award winner, yeah.
I think
Is
it was
an
an
ARIA or an APRA award?
APRA award, yeah,
I don't know which,
Breakthrough Songwriter of the
of the
Year.
year,
It was a
yeah.
pretty big deal.
Back when
And
it happened.
yeah, I mean, he did some cool stuff. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, he's a really cool guy. So shout outs to Grant, man.
Big shouts.
And shout outs to everyone from that scene. I feel like we should give a shout out to Duckworth as well,
I
just while
think
we're on
we
the
should.
topic.
You know what? Duckworth actually auditioned to sing in boWsER. Did you know that?
No way!
Yeah, he did it.
Seriously?
I've got the demo, and I might even
Wow.
play it if I get enough likes
No
on this comment or
way.
this video. I'm going to pull it out of the depths.
That would have been
And
incredible.
Ducko is going to
Do you know what?
maybe love me for it. I don't know.
I think we should get Duck.
Maybe we should do another album with Ducko.
I think Ducko
We could
should
give it another shot.
guest vocals on at least one track.
We could play at the Blues Fest.
He's a freaking epic Blues on Broadbeach. Duck,
Blues on Broadbeach.
Our mate Duck actually
You never
runs. He's the festival director for Blues on Broadbeach.
I
and
think
he's-
boWsER could do a blues set. We could try.
Reckon you can make that work?
We could try. We could certainly try. It might be a heavy blues set, but hey, it could be doable.
Grindy. Definitely be volcanic.
It'd be volcanic.
Hashtag
blues.
volcanic.
Yeah, volcanic rock is kind of our thing.
It's definitely your thing.
It is. It is. But yeah, look, we've had quite a few people. I don't know if I'm missing someone else. There's probably somebody else in the band. It's had a lot of people join the unit.
I feel like
it's
I'm
been
an
a
honorary member of the band.
You kind of are. You know what? You're part of the band. You are.
Thanks, man. Next up. Oh my god, Otto, this is going to be the last track. This is the last track. I'm kind of sad,
getting
but
emotional.
excited. I'm getting emotional
I
too.
am emotional now.
So the last track we have for you tonight is called "People in the TV," and
A
it
bit
was
like us now.
yeah,
Funnily
we are
enough,
literally people in the
I
TV.
think we're in a TV.
I'm having
or
a negative reality
a
inversion.
computer screen's kind of a TV these days. I mean, it's so 2021 to get on the TV.
It totally is.
Yeah.
So yeah, People in the TV came out in 2019. Again, we had a heap of really good response. We had about 34,000 views and counting on our Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a great response internationally. The film clip was really cool. All the guys had like political figures from the US. One was
Great timing.
Great timing because there was a Trump.
We trumped that one.
They trumped
literally.
that one.
We didn't really plan it that way,
Oh,
but
right.
I mean, it just came together, and then there was a lot of political upheaval. I think in the USA at the time. Straight after I made it.
And yeah, an
was a great
incredible
clip.
song.
We did that clip with Timberwolf Films, a good friend of mine, Tyson Leith.
He's actually based in the US,
Yeah, he's based in New York now, and I want to do a little shout out to him
Yeah,
for
shout
that
out
clip
to Tyson.
because it was our first real film clip, I think, that we really did it proper. You know, we really enjoyed it, and it was pro, and the song is, pretty huge.
It's to me that song is all about the riff, and this is what Brad's amazing at, those riffs that just I remember once years ago, Otto, you said to me, I'm going to take my riff and I'm going to tear the world apart with my riff. And if it was any riff, it would be the People in the TV
I
riff.
think that's what I get to. And like, if I had a Harley Davidson, this is what I would be riding around listening to all the time with this song. I just think of Harley Davidsons for some reason when I hear this track. It's rough, it's tough, it's out in the air, it's loud.
It's got oodles of chewed.
Oh, it has oodles of chewed. I'm going to borrow that. Can I borrow that?
You can have that.
Punchline?
That's
a
yours.
winner.
Oodles of chewed.
Oodles of chewed.
Oh, yours. No, it's such a cool tune, and yeah, I really love this song. This is the first one we worked on together, first single from the album, followed by Supersonic. So yeah, we're gonna come back and chat after this song because we wouldn't just leave you hanging like that, of course. But yeah, unless you got anything else to say about People in the TV, we might take it there.
I think just strap on in and get ready.
Strap
Here it
yourselves in,
comes.
people. People in the TV right now, coming at ya, loud and live.
I get the feeling
if you could see my eyes right now, you'd see tears.
But we can't see his eyes because
That just
that
would
wouldn't
be
be
so rock.
It wouldn't be rock
And I'm
enough.
kind of incognito right now.
Yeah, the Lash Lord is
The
going
Lash Lord is
underground.
going underground to where rock lords might go. I don't know. Kind of experimenting with that. But
So I hope you
it's emotional.
enjoyed People in the CV.
Mhm.
I know I love that clip. I love that song.
I love it too.
If you don't have that riff in your head for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
But yeah, I guess like that kind of brings us to the end of this interview, except to say a couple of things. I mean, I just want to say like what an incredible pleasure it's been to work with you
Thank you.
and to
And
know
likewise,
you
my friend.
for 22 years.
22 years.
And to see this project evolve and to be part
Yeah.
of this whole scene. I
know.
mean,
It's incredible.
we're talking
isn't it?
about this one album, right? But
Yeah.
really, we're talking about a lifetime together. We're
Yeah.
talking about so many people, an amazing scene, venues.
Mhm.
Shout out to Steve at the Chop House, by the
Yeah,
way.
Chop House.
Chop
Oh,
House was an epic
where
venue.
we rehearsed. They gave us the keys. We had keys to our own nightclub. Jump on stage and rehearse. It was amazing.
So many good years, so many memories, man. And like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been really, really cool to release these songs with you. And now today,
Whispers from the Wicker Man.
it's out now and like far out.
It's
we
finally
did it.
out.
We did it.
We did it. High five,
We
sister.
got
Thank you.
there.
And I
We
couldn't
got
have done
there.
it without you.
Yeah,
It's been an
a
absolute pleasure to work with you. Mojo Bullet, check it out, guys. If you've got any music projects, up and coming users, you want to learn how to market your band, M is the person to talk to.
At Mojo Bullet Creative.
Absolutely.
Follow me on IG and Facebook.
Please do. You won't
on
be
it.
disappointed. It's been so good. It's been a great journey, and we might even do some more. Who knows? Who knows?
We
But
should.
for now, we can close the door and
If
share
you're
this
digging
album with the world.
boWsER, please support the band in any way you can. There's a number of ways you can do that, right? You can go and follow on Facebook at boWsER the Band, Instagram, boWsER the Band. You can go and purchase Whispers from the Wicker Man on Bandcamp. You can follow and stream on Spotify. Definitely hit that follow button. And, you know, most of all, just love the music as much as we do. Like, dig that music. Tell your friends, get it out there. Let's spread this shit like a virus.
It's the year for viruses, let's face it.
Let's make it a good virus. Let's spread the music virus.
Yeah, this is the one you want to spread, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Em.
That's my
Incredible
pleasure.
journey. And thanks to you for listening if you tuned in to this.
Thanks for
little
being here. Thanks for
watch
sticking
party
with
event.
us. Yeah, thanks for sticking with us all night here. And yeah,
And stream the rest of the album.
Whispers from the
on
Wicker Man
Spotify.
is on Spotify now. It's released. It's out. Get on it, people.